Hello, I'm Master Roxas, and welcome to the Ares A Route Guide for Sonic Frontiers 80%. Like Chronos, Ares is a very short island. It's a little bit longer than Chronos due to the fact that, unlike Chronos, we actually do need to complete a cyberspace level 100% and get a Chaos Emerald to spawn in the boss. But once we spawn in that boss, we can go skip straight to the end and fight Wyvern right away. As you can see in the back, a map is being drawn that shows the approximate routing, including one backup route for Xbox and 30 FPS users that saves time over using a map warp. But other than that, all the tricks and techniques shown in this video will be up to date to show the best way to complete this island as quickly as possible. Please note that some tricks and techniques and perfect optimizations may not be shown. Feel free to experiment and always keep practicing. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video and learn a lot. Thank you. Now to give a brief overview of Slingshot in case you haven't seen the Chronos guide. Slingshot is the most powerful technique that we use in Sonic Frontiers, which is basically an HSP, which is basically doing a stop, locking onto an enemy, dodging and stomping using the stomp attack, and canceling it out with the boost. If you do it on the first frame after stomping, if you boost, you'll get an HSP if you're near the enemy, which gives Sonic extreme height. We'll be using that later. If you use a mag dash to extend the distance between you and the enemy to keep the lock on, like this, or a homing dash, whichever you want to call it, and then do the HSP input, but delay the input slightly to be not on the first frame, you will get a Slingshot, which allows you to get great distance, and the distance and speed varies on how high the enemy is from you. So if you go down this slope, you'll get more height, for example, and how far away you are. So the farther you pull back on the sling, the faster the release. Just like that, that is the Slingshot. There will be a more detailed link below. Alright, now that you refreshed yourself on how to Slingshot, I can formally welcome you to Ares Island. Ares, as I said in the intro, is a very brief and straightforward island where we go from point A to point B as fast as possible. So right at the start, you're going to want to zoom on forward and grab this first token dig, as for Ares Island, we need to get 30 memory tokens in order to rescue Knuckles. After getting these tokens, you're going to come back to the turret to do a Slingshot down with a hard right angle. With this angle, you'll be able to get around this mountain and get straight to the gear dig as quick as possible. Grab this gear, and then I prefer to use the box, as it's a very guaranteed trick launch to get across to the 2-2 island in order to grab these tokens and head right into 2-2. I'm going to be letting my friend Gordon Ramsay explain 2-2, and after this, you will note there are two separate routes that will be taken after 2-2. One for the normal PC and PlayStation 5 route using a map warp, the other for Xbox and 30 FPS runners that where map warping is slower. Alright, take it away, Gordon.
Alright, 2-2. This is where things start getting interesting because we actually have to complete all 4 of these missions. Now, a lot of runners do dislike 2-2, but it is a pretty consistent stage. Now, I won't be able to take too much time explaining things as I go through it, because this stage is on a cycle. However, I'll explain some things now, and then I'll call out my actions as I take them. The main thing to note is that, out of a stomp, there are 2 things you can do. You can either hold it to get an extra jump, or you can immediately cancel it with a regular jump. Each of these have their uses. If you hold down B, then this jump that you get actually goes significantly higher than a regular jump. And of course, if you just immediately cancel with a regular jump, you don't get any increased height. Alright, with that said, let's get to it. Hold stomp, tap, jump, hold, tap, jump. You can do a gritty there. I don't think it's worth it. Just spam boost there and then stomp onto the ring. And you do have to take that light dash trail because there is a red ring there. Just tap boost for that gritty. Nothing too difficult. And that's the stage. Now, if that was a bit fast, I will run this one more time. Hold B, tap A, hold B, tap A. Hold upright, and then just kind of spam boost. You don't want to hold on to boost there, just spam it. Hold B. And then right here, hold hard left, tap the input for the gritty, and that's it. Like I said, 2-2 is a very easy stage once you get it down, so just practice it a little bit. You'll have it in no time.
Alright, thank you, Gordon. And as you can just see here, I'm using the PlayStation 5/PC route and immediately doing a map warp to Kronos and back to Ares. This will spawn us back at the start, and where we will use the same turret to do another slingshot, this time with a directly upward right angle to go straight to the blue emerald. Getting the blue emerald, we will then make our way straight to get a last token dig underneath the 2 more token digs. You will need to avoid Strider. Do not look at him. If you do happen to trigger Strider's music, make sure that after you save Knuckles, you pause the game and load your autosave. Otherwise, just follow this route to get these 2 token digs and talk to Knuckles. Next up, I will be explaining the Xbox and 30 FPS routes. This is provided to me by CriticalCyd. Shoutouts to him for helping me out. So if you're on the Xbox Series S or Series X, you can do on 60 FPS, you can do a trick launch off the chair to get up here, to then do an Air Jordan over to the spring, then do a slingshot off the spring, be very quick so it doesn't trigger to attack, slingshot with an upward left angle to make it almost all the way to the blue emerald, avoid talking to the Elder Coco to not trigger the cutscene, and boom, get the blue emerald. If you're on old gen and on 30 FPS, do a trick launch off this chair instead to get to this rail, to do a rail jump, and if you do it very precisely, you can barely make it to this slope like this. Then once again, do the spring slingshot with the same angle off the spring, and you'll be able to make it all the way to the blue emerald, and then proceed to Wes. Wes, Wyvern Escape Skip, is the automated sequence that we use to get rid of Wyvern. So what you're going to want to do is run to do what I do, run to Shark, and then run back immediately to Knuckles. To switch your camera around and get to Sonic as quick as possible, as soon as you talk to Knuckles, you want to hold down on the stick and boost 4 times, and then hold to skip. Once you do that, you'll end up getting this, which gives you text storage. This text storage will overwrite the game and allow Sonic to move while holding on to the text. This is storing the cutscene to be used whenever we let it go. Follow the movement to run over to this wall and climb up the wall 2 to 3 times on the right edge, and then press any button to skip to the cutscene. By doing this sequence of movements very specifically, the text storage stores the cutscene, which would mean anytime we press the button, it would start this cutscene whenever we wanted. However, we would still spawn back to where the game wants us to do. We found that if you run over to where near the end of where the Wyvern escape sequence happens, there is a climbable wall, and climbable walls sets Sonic's position and overwrites the cutscene starting position. So by getting text storage and running over to that wall, we're able to climb up it to get just high enough to get over that rock, otherwise we get stuck on the rock, and start the cutscene. When the cutscene ends, I'm going to actually spawn at the end of the sequence and immediately end the end trigger of the Wyvern escape sequence. And there is just enough time to hold boost and make it to run off the cliff, causing Sonic to die during the cutscene. This will then skip all of the Wyvern escape sequence and the ending cutscene. And this will also lock our frame rate to 30 FPS. This is very important. Do not change your frame rate back. Alright, I'm going to be showing the inputs for Wes. So you go talk to Shark. Trigger Shark. Turn your camera around and get back to Knuckles. Hold down. Boost 4 times, and then when the cutscene transitions, skip. And just like that, you'll make it to You Are the Key every time. The main thing to remember is just hold straight down and pump boost 4 times, and then when the camera switches to Sonic, you can skip the cutscene, and you will get this, and you will get it just about every time. Alright, you've done West, now you can proceed to go to Wyvern. So stay in 30 FPS and do a soldier slingshot off one of these 2 of the top soldiers. Get good amount of distance and do a slingshot, and you can make it over this cliff. Run straight forward and hold the sidestep button in order to preserve your momentum. The Wyvern trigger is between these two bushes of grass. It is very, very big. Just run straight forward. You can't miss it. Now, coming up next is I'm going to explain the Wyvern fight. The Wyvern fight itself is like an auto-scroller. It's very, very simple. There's really not much to it, and I'll explain it more when I'm actually on the path. Climbing the tower, there's two different ways to climb the tower. There is a instant climbing up the tower using an HSP, and there's the normal climb with using what my friend Goob, the Goobas Gave found, that allows you to skip waiting for the Wyvern. So I'll be showing that part first because it's the much easier way, and I recommend newer players do this first. So right here, when you jump off the wall, you want to ignore the soldiers and just climb up the tower normally. When you climb up the tower like this, you can hold your camera parry to get that spring to skip a little bit of that movement and go straight up the wall. Go forward a little bit, give yourself an infinity symbol since Wyvern does take a little time. And then stomp back down into these rings and parry and dodge left, right, and jump towards Wyvern when he gets close, and you can skip right into Wyvern like that. This is a pretty fast way to get up the tower, and if you want a faster way, then you could do an HSP, like I showed at the beginning of the video, off the soldier right at the start. I would consider the HSP a little bit harder. It does save a bit of time, but it is definitely worth going for when you really want to push your times. So for the HSP method, you want to immediately, after you come off the wall, is go to these soldiers like this, and try to do the HSP in a downward left as quick as you can. You have about 4 tries to do it before Wyvern will be out of line, because as you can see, Wyvern flies around. So if you can get it within 4 tries, you can do it just like that and skip up to Wyvern pretty quickly. The only difference is, as you saw after the first one, I did a mag dash to save a second or two on the Wyvern path. You can't do that here, since you used your boost in order to get up to Wyvern. Anyway, now that we've made it to Wyvern, we're on the trail, and this is basically an auto runner section. There's like almost no way to really save any time here, because Sonic's speed is set. You actually go the same speed even if you don't have power boost, but you just want to have power boost so you don't have to get rings later in Chaos. As you see here, I go under the 3 fire bars. You can jump like I do to skip the first fire bar, and then the second one right there, you can just boost and then jump to go under the first 2 and only have to homing attack the third one. It is slightly faster, but like I said, besides that, there's really not much else. If you did the Goob Tower method to get up here, you'll probably have infinite boost and don't have to worry about it. If you did the HSP, you probably don't have infinite boost. So you want to just make sure you pump boost when needed, because you do not want to run out of meter. If you don't have infinite boost, make sure to grab the rings. They give you a little bit of meter. Otherwise, just skip all the fire bar stuff, and you'll be able to quickly and easily make it to the end of the Wyvern Trail. Here at the end, you're going to pump boost a bit if you don't have infinite boost. Very, very important, at the end, let go of your control stick at this part right here. When Sonic does the trick launch, there is a chance that if you try to wiggle the control stick, Sonic will actually just like miss Wyvern entirely, and it's awful. Just let go of your stick, don't take any risks. Now, the Wyvern fight itself is scripted and very, very easy. We have a precise amount of damage that we can do that allows us to skip some of his counterattacks. So what you want to do is just hold parry and hope a missile hits you, and then fly to his head. There is a chance that you could get bad luck and the missile will just miss you. There's no way to guarantee a missile hits you. Anyway, so you want to parry, and then you're going to want to hit him once and hold attack to do a Cyclone Kick. The second the last hit of the Cyclone Kick hits, press the dodge button into a stomp, hold attack, and repeat. On the third Cyclone Kick, hold parry, and repeat the cycle. And this will actually skip one of his 2 forced counterattacks during Phase 1. Normally in Phase 1, he counterattacks a second time with the laser beam. This precision amount of damage that we do in this order actually skips over the laser beam attack. This will skip us into Phase 2. Phase 2 also has a laser beam attack, but we also skip that and we go straight into the missile cutscene instead. Phase 2 is the same deal. You're going to want to parry a missile at the beginning. Obviously hope for RNG that it hits you. Very important though, on Phase 2, as you're flying to Wyvern's head, hold parry. This is very important to hold parry, because there is a chance with all the extra missiles, one of the missiles can randomly hit you on Phase 2. So just hold parry, be safe. On Phase 2, to make sure to parry twice, and go into the same damage cycle loop. Cyclone Kick, dodge stomp. Cyclone Kick, dodge stomp. Just do that with precise amount of damage, and you'll finish the fight in no time. Now, there is a new technique that was recently found that I don't show in this video because this was before we found it when I made the recording. But whenever we have to mash for the QTEs, we actually found that if you rotate the control stick, it actually counts as you mashing. So if you want to mash even quicker, instead of just mashing the attack button, you can also rotate the control stick and it'll actually fill up the meter extremely fast. So I'm telling you this now, I don't show it in this video, but it is significantly faster and you don't have to mash, so it's a win-win. And just like that, that is Ares complete. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I hope you learned a lot, and I wish you all luck in learning the runs. Please make sure to join the Sonic Frontiers Speedrunning Discord if you have any questions. And otherwise, thanks again to all the people that helped make footage for this video. Phanz for the map, CriticalCyd and Gordon for their footage, and anyone and everyone else for the speedrunning community that helped make the route guide what it could be. I look forward to seeing you all in the future on Chaos Island. That island is a doozy. Otherwise, this has been Master Roxas, and thank you. Please see the description for links to other resources that might assist you with learning Ares Island.
Do I, Ben, Jen Duty.